This is ugly.
Fix it.
Okay, this project has been long overdue. I figured I'm tired of working in a piece of shit little office. You can see it just looks like shit. So figured a blank slate was a good place to start from. So scrapped the entire room. It looks really clean, but really everything's just behind the camera here. So I started by taking the overall measurement of this long wall and cutting all my boards to the length of that wall, and I used the offcuts from those boards to hold the actual desk boards together. So the 2x6s you see getting cut next here are going on the side of the wall to hold the desk up on the ends, and these pieces are the 45-degree braces that go in the middle of the desk. They're quite a bitch to put together if you don't have a jig to hold them in place while you screw them, but I eventually figured it out. I should probably make it known that I'm not a carpenter by any means, or have any formal carpentry training. I'm just a guy who likes to build shit. There's probably a lot of techniques I use that would drive regular carpenters crazy, but I just know how I want things built, and I build them how I want them to look. So after a quick sanding, it was time for our one and only coat of stain. It's a very dark color, so I like to only use one coat. It's the same stain I've used on everything I've built in my house. It's just a really nice color. These are the two 2x6s I cut. They will tie right into the studs and they'll go on either end of the desk to support it on the sides. So the issue with having a desk the exact width of the room is it fits really nicely, but every single wall that it touches on the way in, yeah. So these are the supports for the desk, the board screws to the wall, and the desk screws to the board. Naturally, it didn't come out perfect the first time, so I had to go back and fix some stuff, but I won't bore you with that process. So the design for the floating shelves is based on a tutorial by DIY Pete, which I'll link to, but it's essentially just a box that's built around this bracket, and the bracket itself is what attaches to the wall, while the box just slips over afterwards as a finishing cover.
That is fucking sick.
With the first set of shelves being such a success, I picked up some more wood and just fucking sent it with the shelves. So here's a fun little story about the big shelf here. The reason you see so many screws is because the wall that it attaches to is made with 2 layers of drywall, which means a regular stud finder can't actually locate studs to tie into, so all these screws are just gripping drywall to hold this whole shelf up. So that's pretty cool.
Nice. That looks so good.
So next project was hiding the speaker wires, which involved drilling a hole at the top of the shelf and a hole under the desk to run the wires down through the wall connected to the speaker, which looked great on one side, but when I tried to do it on the other side, I struck the only wires in the wall with the drill, which could only be fixed by making an even bigger hole and completely gutting the wall, adding some junction boxes, and making an even bigger mess than we had before. At this point I didn't feel like fixing the wall, so I just stuffed the insulation back in, threw the drywall on, and covered it up with some boards, so it actually looks pretty good now. Drilled a hole in the desk to run the wires down to the computer, took the stickers off my speakers because I'm not 12 anymore. Ordered this wall decal that didn't really fit the space the way I wanted it to, so I took it apart and rebuilt it in a manner that would fit the space better, which applying to the wall was quite a task on its own. But that's pretty much it. I'll leave you guys with some shots of me pretending to stage the space. I'm really just happy that this project's done. It was supposed to take me a week, but it ended up taking me a month because I'm a piece of shit. But I'm just happy it's done, and I'm pretty happy with it.